We're living in what feels like a golden age of learning, right? These massive tech companies, they're just handing out world-class education for free. But here's the weird thing. This incredible opportunity has created a really strange paradox. We sign up, we're all fired up and ambitious, and then nothing. We just stop. So what's the deal with all these unfinished courses? Well, that's exactly what we're going to dig into.
Come on, be honest. You've done this, right? I'm willing to bet pretty much everyone listening has. You stumble across that perfect course. Maybe it's on AI or coding or data science. You get that little rush of excitement, you click enroll, maybe you even watch the first video, and then poof, life happens. It just kind of fades into the background noise. And that shiny digital certificate, yeah, it stays just out of reach. If this sounds familiar, don't sweat it. You are so not alone in this.
And right there, that's the central paradox we're talking about. I mean, look at the promise on one side. It's absolutely incredible. Global access to knowledge, the chance for anyone, anywhere to level up their skills, to change their entire career path, all for free. But then you look at the reality and, well, it's more like a digital graveyard, just littered with our best intentions. So, what is really going on here?
Okay, look at this number. Just let that sink in for a second. 5 to 15%. That's it. That's the average completion rate for these things we call massive open online courses, MOOCs. To put that in perspective, it means that out of every 100 people who start a course full of hope, 95 of them, or best case, 85 of them, never see the end. It's not just a low number, it's a staggering failure rate.
All right, so this leads us right into our first section, the learning paradox. Because that's what it feels like, right? It feels like a personal failure. It's so easy to beat yourself up over it, to think, I just don't have the willpower, or I'm not disciplined enough. But here's what I want you to get. This isn't just you. It's a systemic issue. And the reasons for it, wow, they go so much deeper than you'd probably guess.
Okay, so check this out. It's like a double-edged sword. The very things that make these courses so attractive are also their biggest weaknesses. That amazing flexibility? Well, it means there's no schedule, so it's super easy to put it off. Tomorrow, right? Learning from home? Sounds great, but it can get really isolating. But the biggest one, the absolute killer, is the price tag, or the lack of one. When you haven't put any money down, there's no skin in the game. There's literally no cost to just walking away.
But wait, it's not just about motivation or not having skin in the game. There's something much bigger, much more powerful at play here. There's an actual battle being fought, and the battlefield is your brain. So let's dive into section 2, your brain in battle. We're going to talk about the hidden war for your focus. You've probably heard this term before, but let's really define it, the attention economy. Think about it like this. In today's world, your attention is one of the most valuable and scarcest resources there is. It's a commodity. And basically every app, every website, every platform you use is designed from the ground up to do one thing: capture as much of your attention as possible, and then turn it into money. It's a constant, ferocious battle for your eyeballs and your brain power.
And here's the scary part. This war for our focus, they're winning. Just look at these numbers. Back in 2004, the average time someone could focus on a single screen was about 2.5 minutes, which today sounds like an eternity, right? Now, fast forward to today, that number has plummeted. We're down to just 47 seconds. 47 seconds. Our brains are literally being rewired for distraction.
And make no mistake, this is not an accident. This is 100% by design. These platforms are built by very smart people using very powerful psychological tricks. You know what I'm talking about. The constant notifications, the infinite scroll, the little red dots. It's all engineered to create these addictive little dopamine hits in your brain. Someone once called it a race to the bottom of our brainstem, which is just a perfect way to put it. They're targeting our most basic, primal instincts. And a 45-minute lecture on Python just can't compete with that.
So you've got these two arenas, and they are in direct opposition. On one side, you have deep learning. To actually learn something complex, you need to be able to sustain your focus. You need critical thinking. And maybe most importantly, you need to be okay with delayed gratification. The reward comes later. But on the other side, you've got the entire world of digital distraction. And what does it offer? Instant gratification. Constant little dopamine hits.
It trains us for what's called continuous partial attention. So, how can a quiet, focused online course possibly win that fight?
Okay, so this is the part where you should be asking, wait a minute. If completion rates are terrible and everyone's attention is shot, then why on earth are these massive companies pouring millions and millions of dollars into creating these free courses? It doesn't seem to make sense until you see the real strategy. And that brings us to section 3, the curiosity funnel. This is where we see how your simple desire to learn becomes one of their most valuable corporate assets.
I love this quote. Curiosity is the engine of intellectual achievement. It's so true. Curiosity isn't just being interested in stuff. It's the driving force behind every major innovation, every tough problem that gets solved. And from a company's perspective, it's the absolute #1 trait they're looking for in an employee. It's more valuable than almost any specific skill, and it's also the hardest thing to screen for on a resume.
And this is the big reveal. This is why those terrible completion rates, they don't actually matter at all. Because the free courses aren't really about education, not in the way we think. They're a filter, a massive, incredibly cheap, global filter designed to find the most curious, the most self-motivated people out there. They don't even need you to finish the course. Just by signing up, you've raised your hand and said, hey, I'm the kind of person who wants to learn. You've self-identified.
And when you look at it this way, the benefits for these companies are just huge. I mean, first, talent acquisition. They are pre-vetting millions of motivated learners without spending a dime on recruiters. Talk about risk reduction. They get to see who's got the drive before they even hire them. It also helps with employee retention. Offering free upskilling makes current employees feel valued and more likely to stick around. And it's a great way to hit their diversity and inclusion goals, since it removes the financial barrier to entry for so many people. It's honestly one of the most brilliant, efficient talent pipelines ever invented. Okay, so finding talent. That's a huge piece of the puzzle, but it's not the whole puzzle. The strategy is actually even bigger, even more ambitious than that. And this brings us to the final layer of the onion, our last section, Big Tech's real game. Because this isn't just about hiring people. It's about market dominance.
The name of the game here is something called ecosystem lock-in, and it's a surprisingly simple but absolutely brilliant 4-step playbook. Okay, step 1, offer high-quality free training on your specific products. Step 2, this creates a huge global workforce that's highly skilled in your tools. Step 3, those skilled workers then go out into the job market. And what do you think they're going to use? What are they going to recommend to their bosses? Your platform. This drives widespread adoption across the entire industry. And step 4, that's the end game. You've secured long-term, unshakable market dominance.
And if you look around, you'll see the biggest players in tech are all running this exact playbook. I mean, it's not a secret. Google offers its machine learning crash course. Why? To get you using Google Cloud. Microsoft has its AI Skills for All initiative. What's the goal? To get you hooked on Azure and Copilot. And Amazon? Their AI Ready program isn't just about education. It's about making sure Amazon Web Services, or AWS, remains the absolute foundation of the entire cloud industry. It's brilliant.
What you're watching is a masterclass in what political scientists call soft power. It's a way more subtle and maybe more effective form of influence. You're not forcing anyone to do anything. You're not strong-arming customers. You're just teaching the world that your way is the standard way. You are training the next generation of engineers, developers, and builders on your tools, so your tools become the default. You're not just winning market share, you are literally shaping the future of technology itself, one free course at a time.
So, this brings us back to the big question. When you really get down to it, what is all this free education? Is it a generous act of public good, lifting people up? Or is it a sophisticated, powerful corporate weapon? And I think the most powerful and the most truthful answer is it's both. It really is both at the same time. And once you understand that duality, well, it completely changes how you look at pretty much every free thing you're offered online.